Alright, welcome to a new channel. Today I'm starting a new challenge that I don't think has ever been done before. I'm gonna play chess and I'm gonna get better at chess. So I just made an account. As you can see on chess.com, we got I'm forked. There's no stats. I haven't played a single game on this. I only have a week for that free membership to run, so we really gotta get going. So my usual ranking is about 1600 in I think it's called rapid when it's 10 minutes, and I'm trying to hit that 2000 mark. I don't know openings. I don't really know any theory. I just kind of move when it looks good. So will I be able to make it to 2000 with all that? I don't know. It's not really a big deal, but I'll give it a go. Uh, yeah. So as you can tell, I don't really know how to do intros, so I'm just gonna play a few games, run through some recaps, and let's get into it. All right. So I actually just ended up playing all five games. So how chess.com does it is you have to actually play five games to get your first rating. I did not know that. So yeah, did all five games. We'll go over all the games in this episode. I think future episodes I'll probably do one or two games and then get more in depth on thinking and the lines that I take. But for now, we're just turning through some lower end gameplay. But let me probably go to the beginning of this. All right. So for the first game, I'm playing against Crizzy Mex. He's a 12-13 player. So again, just keep your eyes open for blunders at this level. There's going to be a couple hanging pawns, and as long as you can capitalize it and not give anything back, you're gonna just walk your way to the finish line. So to give chances out of blunder, I go with this knight f3, pawn g2, or g3, and then bishop g2. So the idea behind this move is that I'm going to have this light square bishop peering all the way across the board for a long time. The only drawback is he can grab the center. But as long as I play this d3 move, it really stops his advancement for a little while. And then it's just regular development, right? Get your pieces out, try to start looking at connecting the rooks, and start pushing the pawns forward. Here he pushes the bishop up, and here I can either move my pawn up to force this bishop to take action, either draw back or take the knight. But instead, I wanted to start my queenside attack. So pushing a3, preparing b4. Here it's not a strong move, I don't think. Just backing up the b7 pawn. It's not really anything. So I just start attacking, pushing, and then I move this bishop here. So my thought behind this is that if instead I immediately go pawn b5, take, and then the knight can be here at a5. So it's really active. It could become an issue, so I really didn't want that to happen. So instead, I moved my bishop here. And now the idea is when I push, takes, the knight can no longer go to a5, and it's going to have to choose one of these not as active squares. So before that happens, he decided to give me the free pawn that I was talking about. So quickly take that, moves the bishop over. That's no threat. So instead, I continue to push with my b5 idea. Takes, and as you see, that knight has to drop all the way back to the 8th rank. So it's going to be a while until it helps. Just trade the bishops, and now it's all about getting these rooks connected. When you have two pawns this far up, the idea is get your rooks behind these pawns and just start pushing. It's going to be so hard for him to find any counterplay. So bishop up. I wanted to solidify the bishop, says inaccuracy. Who cares? I like it. And I push this to start delodging these pawns over here, but instead of just taking, he decides a free bishop, or what's that piece? A horse? That would be better than any counterplay. So I just take the free piece, and then I start simplifying. Once you're up a piece, the idea is trade your pieces as fast as possible, and you can win and get on the next game. So here I offer queens. He doesn't take. Then I just shuffle my pieces and just push the pawns. He's unable to get any counterplay. He has to trade away, and the game's just over. And that's the first one. Really, it was what I do, 87% accuracy. So it was a clean game. Nothing too crazy happened, and we can just get right into the next one. All right, so 1-0. We get right into the second one. Playing against Templario 89, 13-28 player. So not too much of a bump. We'll just see a lot less hanging pieces. But yeah, let's get right into it. So he starts with e4, e5, queen comes out, so that's just going to be, he's just trying some funny business. Queen first, it's not generally a good idea, so I just continue to develop, and there it is. He's trying to do a quick checkmate, as he's threatening this, whatever this rank is. I think it's f2. So it's pretty simple to block. Just develop my pieces, and he continues this attack on this knight. I think the best move is to take with the knight, but I like moving this bishop here to kind of just resolve everything, because once we take with the bishop, assuming he doesn't take with the knight, which, spoiler alert, he doesn't. When I take with this bishop, either he takes back with his bishop and I recapture, and this threat on f7 isn't really a deal, or he takes it with the pawn, I move my knight, and then this bishop can no longer see this f7 pawn. That's what ends up happening, and then I move my knight. He gets a great move just because if he doesn't capture, I can fork with the king and a rook. But he takes, I take, and then I back up. He's trying to do some, he's trying to double up my pawns. I didn't really care because once I castle, I'll be able to attack his king side pretty quick. So I force the take, and castle. Inaccuracy, I don't know, who cares, man. He starts pushing on my queen side. That's probably where it is, just because he can get an attack going right away. I try to put a stop to it. He brings his rook over, and instead of trying to defend more, I opt to go for the attack. Then he goes for this pawn break. So if you're not really paying attention, you're just kind of not that good at chess, you'd probably take with the pawn. He would take with the pawn, and then he has two of these pawns running up the board with support from the rooks, and even the bishop is actually helping out. So if you take with this pawn, you're really in trouble. So that's exactly what I did. So the idea is if he takes back with the pawn, he's just going to be able to push like crazy. So I don't even know how to defend here. Take, push, and he's just going. But luckily, he's as bad as I am and takes with the rook. And the reason that that's an error is now I can push the rook back and solidify the position. So this is going to be so hard for him to make any progress now. He starts defending even more, and I continue on the attack. He moves this as a check. It doesn't really matter. It's important to move the d square just to avoid any trapping over here. And then he wastes another move, bishop to b2 or b7. His idea is just to connect this pawn with this bishop and stop me from advancing here. But that, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not advancing here. He needs to find a way to start defending on his side now that his attack is over. So I continue with mine, another wasted move, and I take advantage of it. He doesn't take, so I get the free pawn. Protect this pawn. This was a little inaccuracy. I should have moved my rook here just to defend both, but since I didn't, he's now able to attack. Throw in a check, move over. Not great moves, but it's going to get the job done. Let's see. That's a mistake. Mate and 7. Didn't see mate and 7. I don't know if there even is a mate and 7, but I saw this move as good just because when you force a check, he can either go up and get checkmated soon, maybe, or he can take with this pawn, which he ends up doing, and then I can just capture this rook back. So completely one position, and I got this nice little checkmate coming. Get the bishop involved, push the king down, and checkmate. So 2 for 2. Nothing too crazy in this one. We found the right moves when we needed to. And yeah, let's get into this one. Game 4 was not very fun. Yeah, we're playing against Vizold. He's 1754 rating. It doesn't even come into factor. We'll get into it, but it was a rough game. I decided to play the Queen's Gambit. He did Queen's Gambit accepted, and then I do an inaccuracy. I've done this opening maybe 200 times, and I apparently don't know the lines. Is it easy to figure out? Yeah. Will I? No, I don't think I will. I think the move is actually bishop. Let's see. I think the bishop is here. He does some nonsense. I push, then I can take the pawn or whatever. But I decided to do something completely wrong. But whatever, he doesn't take advantage of it. I do a big miss. It's going to give my middle a lot of weaknesses. Big blunder. I'm going to give away all my middle advantage as white. And finally I castle. So believe it or not, we got through that messy opening. Sorry that I'm not really covering stuff. I'm so tired. But so we got through the opening. We survived. And we keep kind of dancing around. I like to threaten this bishop, and this is kind of a good square for the knight to be. It's pretty active. It's not easy for them to find any counterplay. So as long as I don't do anything strange, I actually have a huge advantage in this this position. Yeah. I blundered a piece. It's the first blunder of the series, which is better than I thought it would be. But yeah, no, I gave away a free piece close to the end game, so there's only so much you can do. And then I blundered a second piece. I quit. I closed my laptop after this game. I closed my laptop, walked away. I had a fistful of M&Ms, and now I feel a little sick, but I feel better about chess. So I tried not to let it get to me too much. I did want to go 5-0 and see where we could end up, but I'm not very good at chess. I'm not that good. So we'll get into the fourth one. Hopefully we can save the games and finish up 4-1 and see where our rating is. But yeah, this was a throwaway. We'll see what happens next. All right. So this is our fifth game against Au Regardé Tu as Perdue, 1394. So Chess.com realized that I'm not very good and dropped our rating by a little over 300 points. So a little hit to the ego, but it's time to close up the intro and see where we end up. So I went back to the Sicilian because I thought I could do better this time, and I did. Look at that. No inaccuracies yet, just developing the piece. This is how you play the Sicilian? Yeah. All right. Okay. Oh. Oh, is it? Ah. Alright, whatever. So I blunder, he doesn't take advantage, and then I blunder again. He doesn't find it. I think the idea behind that is... But then what? I don't know, man. Whatever. The important thing is he doesn't see it, I don't see it. We're taking turns making misses, making blunders. Holy cow. Alright, look at that. Great move. Great move, and it puts me at 2.8. Now that's completely deserved. I got a free pawn there. Oh, wait. Oh, I remember why. So when you push this pawn, you're threatening this bishop. But no matter where he moves, I'm going to get this pin. So I'll... What is it called? A fork? Oh, I'm going to fork... Oh! Fork a rook and a queen, and if he moves the queen, I'm still getting a rook. So this was a really good move by me, that I knew what I was doing. And here, I don't really rush to take either of the rooks. I'm threatening two, he can't take my bishop, so why rush it? And now I have a pretty active knight. I can swing the rooks, and it's looking pretty dangerous for my opponent. Get the knight to an even better spot, and then it doesn't matter. Take with check. So his only move here is to take back with the queen. If not, I win it for free. So it takes, and I offer a queen trade. Again, if you're up material, you try to trade your queens. He blocks, but he just gives me a rook for free, and it's game over. If he tries to defend, it's just take, and that's checkmate anyways. So I think I had like a 60% accuracy. So this was another shit show. Didn't end too well, but hey, we got to the end. We finished 4 out of 1 or 4 out of 5. And yeah, well, I'll go over the results really fast and then kind of finish it because this video is taking fucking forever. Alright, but we'll move on. Okay, 5 out of 5 games. That's good. That took forever. I think this video is going to be too long. It's going to be like 25 minutes or something. That's too long for chess. But whatever, we'll breeze through this outro. We ended up with a 1551 rating in Rapid. That's only about a 50 or 100 points behind where I usually am. So that's a really good start. In future videos, I think I'm only going to play 1 or 2 games and cover a more in-depth analysis on it. Go through my thinking at the time. But yeah, well, it's really just trying a couple different formats and seeing what sticks. So if anyone has any suggestions that I should try out, change the format, change whatever, just let me know, and I mean, I don't know, I'll maybe read it. Maybe, definitely maybe. It's a soft maybe. But yeah, no, drop any suggestions that you think, and you might see on the next video. Who knows? But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.